Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be doing the last topic, that is on natural vegetation. That would be your part 3. So as you write your assignments, write part 3 in the heading. So the topic for today is conservation. Your Conservation means management, or protecting our natural resources. In simpler terms, we can say that preserving of natural resources present in and around us, in terms of the green vegetation and in terms of the forest. Protecting of our fossil fuels, protecting of animals. It can be in terms of many ways. But when we are talking about the natural settings, we'll be talking more about the forest. So the word conserve came from two Latin words. The first is con, which means together, as one, coming together, and severi, con and severi, which means preserve. So when we combine this together, conserve means to come together, and preserve a thing. So conservation of natural resources, in terms of lands as well as forests, is not a problem of only one person. It is the problem of the whole world. We have less natural vegetation, we have less trees, then all the animal life as well as the human life would be in danger. Because trees play a very crucial role. So when it comes to the conservation of the natural vegetation and the natural setting around us, it is the top priority of the whole nation, and the whole country as well as the whole world. It is not the problem of a single person, but it is the problem of the entire humankind. So here, it is not the work of the government, to help conserve or maybe make the environment flourish. It is the need of each and every individual person. Every individual person is accountable to conserving the forest, and the natural vegetation, present in our earth. Both the government as well as people will have to go hand in hand, to preserve as well as conserve our natural resources and our natural vegetation. Moving on, we'll be dealing with conservation of forests. Why do we need to conserve our forests? What can we do to conserve and protect this forest? What are the factors that are destroying our vegetation? It is basically because of human factors. So what we do is that we want to occupy more and more areas. Our towns and cities are expanding. So when these towns and cities expand, we often cut down trees, we often clear off forests, and we start constructing our houses, as well as we use woods commercially, for firewood or for constructing houses or using wood for making furniture. And also for agricultural purposes, we clear off large tract of forest areas in order to do shifting and drum cultivation, which makes the soil unfertile, and it also leads to soil erosion. So one factor leads to another, but one major factor is humans alone. Humans destroy everything in their path. So we need to conserve and protect this forest. And one natural or maybe human phenomena is forest fire. In terms of naturally forest fire comes out sometimes, but in some cases people go for trekking, they leave the fireplace, just like that, and forest fire starts. Okay, and it just not affects a small portion of the area, but forest fire affects the whole forest, disturbing the natural vegetation as well as hampering the wildlife as well. Okay, because it's their natural habitat. And so what happens when forest fire happens? All the animals have to run away or get swiped away by the fire. Okay, so we need to conserve it. It is only because of these reasons we use and we try to conserve our natural vegetation. Okay, so number one is afforestation. Okay, so what is afforestation? Afforestation means planting of more trees. Okay, so in this due course of time, okay, a lot of government bodies as well as NGOs, they've started this afforestation process, okay, in reclaiming the forest by planting more and more trees. Okay, so this is one of the techniques that is how we can conserve the forest. Okay, planting more trees. And next, okay, check on urban growth. Okay, so like I said, okay, when population increases, people try to expand their territory to a very large extent. So what do? We try to encroach on the natural vegetation areas by cutting down trees. Okay, in order to prevent that, the government tries to monitor, okay, that no population or no resident would go beyond a certain limit. Okay, would not cross the forest areas, destroying the natural vegetation. So this is one important factor, because with the increase in population, people tend to expand their territories, okay, in the natural areas, destroying the natural habitat of animals as well as destroying the trees and plants. Okay, next is checking on overgrazing. Okay, so in most of the places, people leave their livestock for grazing. Okay, so they should not leave their cattle in one area for a very long period of time, because once they start eating up all those grass, okay, it will lead to overgrazing, and in terms it will lead to soil erosion and would cause a bigger problem. So what they should do is they should graze in one area, and after a certain period of time they should move to another location. Okay, so that grasses would grow back again. Okay, so people should also check on their livestock and where they are grazing, because if they just leave the livestock there for a very long period of time, then automatically it will lead to soil erosion as well as to huge problems, okay, with the soil as well as with the natural setting as well. Okay, and next, why do we need to conserve this natural vegetation? Why is it so important to conserve this natural vegetation? Okay, number one, to maintain habitat of plants and animals. Okay, so these areas, these forests hold numerous varieties of plants. Okay, and it is the natural habitat and it is the natural environment for animals to live and flourish. Okay, so for that purpose, okay, we should conserve our natural forests. Okay, so our forest has a number of species of plants, okay, which are very useful for human beings for medicinal values also. So we should conserve these plants. Okay, and number two, to protect their extinction. Okay, with human activities increasing, okay, there's a huge number of plants and animals which are in the list of extinction. So if we make another move and we keep on making the move, okay, in destroying our forests, in destroying our vegetation, in destroying the life of animals, then we can assume, okay, or maybe in around 20 years, okay, the animals that we have, the plants that are there in our natural settings might go under extinction. Okay, so we need to conserve this forest. Okay, and number 3, to prevent rapid depletion. Okay, to prevent gap in or damage to the food chain. Okay, so what happens if, so food chain is a cycle which continues, which starts from one point and it continues to revolve, right? So what happens if you start killing animals, if you start killing the natural vegetation? What happens? The plants which are eaten by a deer, okay, if it's not there, then just imagine, deer, the population of deer will be gone, deer would be extinct. Rather, again, it will start affecting the other carnivorous animals. Okay, so what will happen? It will ultimately affect the whole food chain, and it will also affect the humankind as well. Okay, since we also fall under that. Okay, so we should know how to conserve and protect our forests. And the 4th point, to reduce the stress on resources. So at this rate, okay, at this present context, we are overusing our resources. Okay, the trees that we have, the oil that we have, the coal that we get, the minerals that we get, we are all overusing it. Okay, we are not valuing these resources that we have in our place. Okay, and these resources are not going to be there in our planet for long. Okay, if we continue to increase the use out of it. Okay, so we should know how to value as well as how to protect them. Okay, the 5th point is to prevent rapid depletion of resources. Same point. Okay, so we need to protect them. Okay, because at this rate, okay, clearing of forests as well as using of resources is on a very unimaginable rate. Okay, so we should protect them, or else in about 20 years we will be exhausted with no petroleum, we'll be exhausted with everything that we have. Okay, so we should protect them and conserve them, or else it will be too late for mankind to live in this place. Moving on, biosphere reserves. Okay, biosphere reserves are reserves, okay, are demarcated areas which plays a potential role, okay, in conserving the biodiversity. Okay, in conserving the biodiversity. So these are demarcated areas, okay, which helps in conserving both plants and animals. Okay, that is called as biosphere reserves. Okay, so in these reserves, okay, we can find both plants and animals, okay, are being taken care of and are being conserved, okay, so that no people would interfere, okay, or harm this natural setting. Okay, so in India also we have numerous bioreserves. Okay, so moving on, the main aims behind the setting up of bioreserves are: number 1, okay, conserving and maintaining diversity and integrity of the natural heritage in its full form. Okay, so these biodiversities are set up mainly to, preserve, okay, and conserve and take care and maintain of these plant species. Okay, some plants are on the verge of extinction, so these natural reserves, okay, this biosphere reserve, which is generated by human beings, helps them to flourish, helps them to increase. Okay, that is the first point. Number 2, promoting research for ecological conservation and other aspects of environmental preservation. So these biosphere reserves also opens up, okay, array for researchers. Okay, they go and research this area, okay, and they research these plants, the natural habitat, how they are. Okay, so that they would be able to protect them as well as preserve them and know their value as well. Okay, number 3, promoting facilities for education, awareness and training. Okay, so what they do is that these biosphere reserves help them to educate the people, okay, make them aware of the need for conservation, and also they give them training on how to protect various kind of plants and animals. Okay, and number 4, to preserve the genetic variety of crucial natural system. Okay, main thing is for them is to protect the plants which are under extinction, okay, which are on the verge of extinction, to preserve them, multiply them. Okay, so this is the need for biosphere reserves. Okay, so at last, these are the areas. We have around 18 biosphere reserves in India, so you can just look into your textbook and refer. Okay, we have the Nilgiris in Tamil Nadu, Nanda Devi in Uttarakhand, Gulf of Mannar, that is in Tamil Nadu, Norek in Meghalaya, Sundarbans in West Bengal, Manas in Assam, Simplipal in Odisha, Dihang Dibang Arunachal Pradesh, Panchmari, that is in Madhya Pradesh, Achanakamar, Amarkantnak, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Great Run of Kutch, Gujarat, Cold Desert in Himachal Pradesh, and Kanchenjunga in Sikkim, and Astia Malai in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Great Nicobar, that is Andaman and Nicobar, Dipur Saihoa Assam, Seschalam Hills, Andhra Pradesh, and Panna in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so you have to make note of these areas because it would even pop up in your map work. Okay, so other measures to protect flora and fauna include, okay, financial and technical assistance to all botanical garden. Okay, financial assistance has been given, okay, to maintain botanical gardens in India. Okay, number 2 is Project Tiger, Project Rhino, Project Elephant, and many other eco development project has been introduced. Okay, why are these projects introduced? These projects are introduced in order to preserve these animals which are on the verge of extinction, such as Project Tiger, Project Rhino, Project Elephant. Okay, and there are 89 national parks and 490 wildlife sanctuaries and zoological garden established in India. Okay, so in this chapter we learned about the natural vegetation, the various type of vegetation present in our country. Okay, starting from the tundra, tropical rainforest, okay, the deserts. Okay, we have learned about all this, and we also learned about conservation. Conservation plays a very important role because without conservation, the animal as well as plant species might get extinct in the near future. Okay, and it would also hamper and affect the human population, so we need to conserve these natural resources, which are natural resources and natural vegetation which are present in our planet. Okay, instead of encroaching, expanding our territories, we should try to plant more trees, okay, in order to protect the natural setting. Okay, with which we come to the end of this chapter. Likewise, write a summary, okay, and send me as always. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.